Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to have videos to the paid request this time for Jonathan. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for Scary Movie 3 from 2003. Now, I know there's a lot of people that like this film. A lot of people are very nostalgic for the film. They enjoy the film. They enjoy the film more than the second film, which I highly disagree with. Because I like Steer Movie 1, I don't mind. Steer Movie 2 is my personal favorite of that franchise. And then that's kind of where I step away. The first two Steer movies, made by the Wayans brothers, I think that's when the franchise was worth a spit. But again, Steer Movie 3 gets a higher rating than Part 2 on IMDb. It made more money. And like I said, I know there's a lot of people that like this film. They have fond memories. I do not. And I saw this back in the day. I did see this in the theater because 2003, that was one of those years that I lived not that far from a movie theater. And I went there like every other weekend. Just to be like, hey, what's a movie? That movie. I'll watch this movie. That was kind of my way of doing stuff back then. So a lot of films in 2003, even a bit in 2004, I would see in the theater. And I'm like, hey, I like the first two. You got Charlie Sheen. You got Leslie Nielsen. Why not? I just remember sitting in the theater going, this is not working for me. I don't think this film's that funny. I think a lot of the jokes really suck. I mean, even the horror aspect, because these films are never meant to be scary, but is this parodying horror? I mean, I guess technically Signs. I guess, would you call it horror? I would call it like sci-fi. But I guess some people call it horror. Okay, The Ring. 8 Mile? Why the fuck is 8 Mile? The Matrix? Why is it 8 Mile and The Matrix Reloaded being a part of this? That's fucking weird and random. And that's the thing is that, for what I understand what happened, the Wayans brothers, they did the second film, but they were put into a bit of a rush. So they thought, okay, the movie comes out, came out okay, but wasn't really what we wanted. We're a little bit disappointed how Steer Movie 2 came out. Again, it's my favorite of all of them, because I think I love the bits between David Cross and Chris Elliott. I think they were really funny together. Richard Ball, may he rest in peace. He was entertaining. Tim Curry. So you have a really good cast in that. It was nice to see Marlon and Shawn Wayans again. It was nice that they didn't all get killed off by the end, like in the first Steer movie. James Woods was fantastic in the opening with the Exorcist parody where he goes in, he's like, fuck this, and leaves. Not all the jokes worked in that way, but that one, for me, is the more consistently funny of all the Steer movies. And it was R-rated, and yeah, I mean, I'm not big into the raunch, but some of the other stuff was pretty entertaining. So there was talks of doing a third movie, and the Wayans brothers wanted more money, because despite all that, these films made a lot of money. A lot of money. And they're like, hey, we want a little bit more money. And the Weinsteins said, you're not worth that much. And we own this, so we're going to give it some guys who are going to work for less, and we just throw it out there. And that's what happened. They got David Zucker, who worked on Airplane and movies of that nature in the past. Pretty much stole the shit from the Wayans brothers. Here's the script, let's just rewrite the shit. Again, again, and again. And then they pooped out a movie and it made more money than the second film. So, thus Steer Movie 4, Steer Movie 5, which are even worse than this. And yes, Steer Movie 4 and 5 are way worse than this film. But this film, other than maybe 3 times, I chuckled, which I'll get to. But it's a waste of a cast. Regina Hall comes back, but she gets killed off like 20, 30 minutes in. Leslie Nielsen doesn't even show up till like 53 minutes in the fucking movie. And it's only like thankfully, it's only like an hour and 15 minutes if you take out the end credits. That's because I think there was a bit more of an ending that they took out. Just there was a bit more of a Matrix Reloaded type of ending, among other shit. And like one of the characters turned to the Hulk. Just a Hulk came out in 2003, Matrix Reloaded, and Revolutions came out in 2003. So, hey, these are brand new films. Let's parody them. And that's kind of what you started getting with these parody movies. And honestly, you just say Steer Movie 3 was the start of that. Steer Movie 3 was the start of that bullshit of, what is the brand new film? Just put that and that random movie and that random movie and, oh, that movie's new? Reference that. Because think about Steer Movie 2. I mean, other than maybe that one commercial where people with the basketball, it was like referencing, I mean, technically What Lies Beneath and some other films, but they felt consistent in that genre. But it's like, okay, not even, it's called Steer Movie, but yeah, let's also reference 8 Mile, and let's also reference, again, the ending was going to be Matrix Reloaded and the Hulk references. What does that have to do with Scary Movie? You see a lot more of that in the sequels. And then don't get me started on the Meet the Spartans and Disaster Movie and Epic Movie that killed the parody genre. Killed it. I mean, what was the last parody movie you saw? Let alone saw in theaters. Let alone saw in theaters and was successful. Or good. So yeah, the Weinsteins, the two fat-ass jerk-offs, took it from the Wayans brothers. And they packed it with a cast. I mean, Anna Faris and Regina Hall comes back from the first two. You got Charlie Sheen. You got Leslie Nielsen. Pamela Anderson and Jenny McCarthy have a cameo at the beginning. Anthony Anderson's in the film. Kevin Hart is in the film. Queen Latifah, Eddie Griffin. I think Ja Rule's in it. There's one scene where Method Man and Redman, a bunch of other rappers come into the picture. George Carlin is in it. And like I said, it's just a waste of a lot of talent. Charlie Sheen is there to half the time get hit. Hit in the head, hit in the balls, hit in the balls again. Leslie Nielsen, like I said, the movie's almost over. Like, we're 50-some minutes in and Leslie pops in as the president. Kevin Hart being his annoying self. He's small, so the joke's about his height, and he's, being over the top animated. Anna Faris is trying to do her shtick from the first two and trying to do the best that she can. Regina Hall, I said, she's actually pretty entertaining, but they kill off way too quickly. And again, let's just throw random jokes, random movie references, see what sticks. And most of them didn't stick. At least not to me. Oh, here's Jenny McCarthy and Pamela Anderson. And they act smart, but then they don't know how to spell. They don't know the word moo. What does a cow... 3 letters that a cow makes. No one knows moo. They both fight. One gives the other a wedgie. It's a parody of The Ring. The camera goes towards Pamela Anderson, but it focuses on her boobs. This is like lousy, lazy humor. Desperate humor. Is like start of that desperation humor. Please laugh, please. Then Charlie Sheen is in this parts that's trying to parody Signs, where he keeps hearing streaming, but he keeps hitting his head. Or he keeps pissing, he keeps hearing a stream, but when he looks out, no one streams, and he keeps pissing some more. The dogs are acting weird, they turn, and they have hookah. Getting high. There's a crop circle, and the wide shot is, hey, aliens, attacked here. It just seems like really lousy, lame jokes. Can people really say they laughed at the dogs with the hookah, or the aliens going attacked here in crop circles? Can people really tell me that was funny? Or for some reason, this cop's hat just gets bigger with each scene. Just because. It's like, we don't know what to do. Just have her hat get bigger with each scene. Again, why? I don't know. Well, I know it's stupid to say you need a logic, but in a way you almost kind of do need a logic with parodies. Even that. Like even the Hot Shots Part 2, there's a bit where he's shooting, and he's shooting most violent movie ever, and then there's a shot as he shot so many bullets, like the bullets are like getting bigger and bigger around him. Like literally the bullets, there's so many bullets, they're just rising up and up. He's got like a whole field of bullets almost on top of him. Other people, oh, Simon Rex, that's a guy I forgot, because he was, I thought, the worst in the movie. He was irritating, he was annoying, I did not find any of his shtick funny. Whether it be, he's trying to be the Eminem 8 Mile, I gotta go represent y'all. He gets on a bus to the hood, and that's, I think this is one of those movies that scenes could be edited in any way, shape, or form, because he gets on a bus to the hood, but then the next time we see him is at the school picking up his niece, Charlie Sheen's daughter. So wait, if he got on the bus to go to the hood, why is the next scene with him picking up this little girl at the school? Makes me think that scene was supposed to be later, and again, they don't give a shit, so why am I trying to give a shit? And just really annoying character. Anna Faris, she is a reporter. It is out of the blue joke where her boss loves twins, and so these women come out, in twins, in twins, in twins, in twins. I'm like, what the fuck does this have to do with anything? I don't even get the joke. Okay, we love twins. Show your titties. Oh, we can't because it's PG fucking 13. It's tame. Be a lot more fucking tame. I'm sure the Weinsteins had a hand in that because, hey, if we make this much with R-rated, imagine if it was PG-13. And then lo and behold, they made more money, so they were right on that. One of the few jokes I laughed was, I think it was the way Regina Hall said the line, where Regina's a teacher, Anna Faris has taught to her because her kid is one of the students. Someone leaves and closes the door, and then out of the blue, someone throws crayons. And without missing a beat, Regina goes, now who the fuck did that? That's one of the few times I laughed because I thought Regina Hall did a good job saying that line. She had the timing right. She had the delivery right. Who the fuck did that? It still makes me laugh. So again, Simon Rice goes up to pick up his niece, and then the next shot is him in the hood. So it makes me think that scene was supposed to be earlier in the film, like before. Um, I don't know, before some stuff. But now Anthony Michael Hall. I'm surprised he's not in this. Anthony Anderson and Kevin Hart, they're friends of Simon Rex, and Simon does a rap battle. And what the fuck this has to do with Scary Movie, I don't know. But hey, let's reference 8 Mile. This is a popular movie. And Simon Rex is trying to sing. And you have the joke coming up where he puts up the hood and he looks like a Ku Klux Klan member, so he gets thrown out. During that scene, Simon Cowell from American Idol, he's trashing some singers. He gets shot to death. This is another thing, like, even more so, let's throw in random cameos. And I don't know, man. So he's trying to parody Signs, he's trying to parody 8 Mile, he's trying to parody The Ring. All that stuff. And a lot of these just lame recurring jokes. Hey, you know what's funny? A kid getting hit. So the kid gets, Anna Faris's boy gets hit by a car. Or he gets grabbed in the basement and I think it was like Simon Rex or someone keeps hitting him over and over again. Or when Simon Rex is going to be first meets Anna Faris's kid, he does something that actually knocks the kid out. Like a lot of that type of jokes. Or there are fart jokes in this as well. Like when Anna Faris goes to see Queen Latifah, she sits down. Oh, I swear that was the chair. Then Queen Latifah sits down and she explicitly farts. Yep, just the chair. If you do feel like there's no natural flow, you do feel that this was a movie that was cut to pieces and just like a fucked up puzzle that the pieces don't quite fit, but they're trying to force it to fit. And let's say it doesn't feel like there's a natural flow to it. Like in Scary Movie 2, they're in the haunted place, and if we're in the same location, it felt like the story flowed better compared to this. Because we're at the Signs thing, then we're at the Ring thing, then we're with Leslie Nielsen president, then we're back to this. It doesn't gel together. It feels like almost you're switching channels to a point. The second time I laughed was Regina Hall. I thought she gave me the most laughs when the ring girl pops out and Regina Hall starts beating the shit out of her. Like, get up, you ugly bitch. And beating the shit out of her. That felt like something that would fit in the first two Scary movies. Like, you're scared of the girl, and you're like, fuck that, it's just a little girl, and Regina will beating the shit out of her. It reminded me of the bit in, I think it was Scary Movie 2 with the skeleton. And then she's like, what? Just that? Got your head? And starts fucking with it. Making fun of the situation. Like, that I did laugh at. I laughed at that. But then they kill Regina Hall way too soon. Way too soon. And just unfunny gags. There's a wake. Simon Rex stupidly thinks that Regina Hall's alive, so they flop the body around. I guess the test audience liked Anthony Anderson, so they start trying to plug him into scenes. Like all of a sudden Anthony Anderson shows up here, and he's punching everybody out. Or out of the blue, he shows up at the end in the basement. The Ring, when you see the Ring video, there's jokes about a guy sitting. The Ring is a toilet, and you see a guy's bare ass sitting on the toilet. Like, again, these are the jokes you have in this. Queen Latifah and Eddie Griffin, they're there for the Matrix parody. I think their stuff is the stuff that I cut out the most, because they're much more prevalent in the original ending, which you can find online to watch. But, I mean, it wasn't a better ending. Pretty much, Anna Faris goes to see them. They tell her about some information, who this person is, and where this tape came from, where some of these images in the tape, where the location is of these, the lighthouse or whatever. And probably the third last time I chuckled was when Queen Latifah hits a fly, and it hits the woman on the TV, and then the woman on the TV sucker punches Queen Latifah. I did like the way Queen Latifah delivered the line, "Oh, I'm gonna kill the bitch. Okay? She spit on me, I'm gonna kill the bitch. I'm gonna kill her." And Ed Griffin's like, "Hey, it's done. Okay? It's done. Okay, yeah, it's done. Yeah, alright. No, fuck this bitch, you know. I got your hair." That little scuffle and Eddie Griffin, like, I feel like Griffin and Queen were in sync in that bit there. Go kill the bitch. No, see, it's done. It's over. Okay, it's right. That's like the one other final bit I chuckled at. So funny enough, it was Regina Hall and Queen Latifah that gave me the only jokes I laughed at. Leslie Nielsen's trying, but he's just given nothing good to say. It's almost as if they wanted Leslie Nielsen to be like Lloyd Bridges from Hot Shots 1 and 2. Because I think in Hot Shots 2 he was the president, Lloyd Bridges. But Lloyd just had more screen time and more shit to do. I still laugh at the Lloyd Bridges having the Star Wars type of fight with Saddam Hussein. But Leslie Nielsen is given nothing to do. He's trying though. I love Leslie Nielsen, but this is not like a. It's not the ultimate lowlight of his career, but it's not a highlight either. George Carlin completely wasted because he's the architect, which was one of the. I love Matrix Reloaded, but that was the worst scene in the movie was the architect, because you did feel the audience lose interest in the film with that constant talking. And you got George Carlin, he's not really giving much funny to say. He's got to be in this monotone voice. Other than referencing Pootie Tane. Because, I went to Blockbuster to try to return Pootie Tane, but I returned this tape on accident. It's telling everybody, yep, just like Pootie Tane. And most people are like, what the fuck is Pootie Tane? It culminates in the Signs bit where they're all in the basement and there's aliens giving, ton wads as if they want to eat Anna Faris out. And then you find out that the aliens are actually good guys and they want to stop the girl from the tape because they try to rent Pootie Tane, but they saw the tape and it's almost 7 days an hour, which then makes you go, well, why did they say, well, I guess that's why. Anyway, Charlie Sheen, oh my balls, he gets his nuts kicked a bit. The aliens, they piss through their finger, and for some reason Leslie Nielsen can do it too, so I guess he's an alien. but they don't really go with that. There's a scene where all the rappers come on, but they all shoot each other, which is kind of a funny idea that you think it's going to be the same, but lo and behold, they end up shooting each other. But it seems like a funny idea, but the way it came off just didn't work for me. And then pretty much Anna Faris and Simon Ratch, they're in the basement. There's the ring girl. And Leslie Nielsen repeats the line from Airplane. Won't count on you. And the girl goes down the fucking well and everything's fine and dandy. I think Anna Faris and Simon Ratch get married, and I think the kid gets hit again. Because hitting kids equals funny. It's not that, oh, how dare they? It's more like, it's a lame running gag that wasn't funny the first time, let alone the 5th time it happens. Oh, yeah, the Charlie Sheen fights Michael Jackson bit, which I know people find funny. I don't. Maybe because, that guy went through a lot of shit. It was like one of those... It's like someone making a Trump joke now, although I like Michael Jackson more than Trump. But it's like... I would like to never hear another Michael Jackson joke. I would like to never hear another Donald Trump joke again. It's just so old and tired and just lazy and... just lazy. But I know a lot of people laughed at it at the time and to this day. Like I said, I'm just kind of... I'm thankful it was a short movie. I'm thankful for the 2 or 3 laughs I got, which is more I could say for Scary Movie 4 and 5. But again, just throwing random shit in there, random movies in there. Even the Signs stuff. I mean, I get it. Signs... in a way, I never thought it was a horror movie. I know it is, but Signs just... I guess I just thought more sci-fi than horror. Because it's a film I never thought was scary. Maybe that's the thing. I don't know. Just don't know if that... I mean, whatever. Doesn't matter. Like I said, I was never a fan of this movie. Not back then, not today. It's not the worst. It's far worse. All the epic movie disaster movies are worse than this. Meet the Spartans, superhero movie. That one Fast and Furious parody I saw, Super Fast, whatever the hell it was called, is worse than this. Scary Movie 4 and 5 are worse than this. Movie 43, inappropriate comedy, they're way worse than this. But I think this was for me, the beginning of the end of this franchise. And it did not get better after this, so. And honestly, I would count this as the movie that started the downfall of parodies. I really do believe that. I think this was the start of the downfall. Because they see this movie, they see how much movie it made, and they followed this movie's formula. Get random celebrity cameos, put more and more of that into it. Reference... It doesn't just have to be the topic, just other movies. Reference that. Throw any lowbrow humor you can into it, even if it doesn't make parody sense. This is where it started. And now that genre's dead. Until one comes out that really blows people away, but that's not going to happen anytime soon, so. With that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.